Okay, so I'm gonna create a new project, and this is a console app. Let's call this Information Systems 4051 Git, and I don't use top level statements for this. And now this is my main project. I can go ahead and make some changes to this, and ideally you will have a project structure in your in your main branch. And of course, I created this on my own computer. If I want to push this to GitHub, I have to first create a Git repository. So I'm going to go to Git changes. If you don't see Git changes here, you go to Window, and then you can reset the window layout, and then you should be able to see the Git changes here. And I'm going to go ahead and create a Git repository from this. And if this is the first time, you're not going to see your account here. You have to go and add your account by logging in into your account on GitHub. And then you come back here, you see your account as the owner of this repository. I'm going to make this repository public and then create and push. All right. And as you can see, the Git repository was created successfully. And you can either click on this link here or go to Git Manage Branches, and you'll see that you have the master branch on your own computer and master branch on remote, which is GitHub here in this case. So if you want to create other branches right away, you can do that. You can go to this master branch and right click on this and then create a new local branch from this. And let's call this, for example, development. And this branch will be created based on master branch. And I will check out this branch, meaning that I will make this branch the active branch. And you see that this branch is now created. It's in bold, meaning that this was checked out. And checked out meaning that if I go to um, Solution Explorer, the files I see here are the ones in development branch. You see that we don't have the development branch on GitHub here on the remote. We only have it local. You may want to do this. You may want to have only a local branch for yourself. But if you do want to share this branch with everybody else, you can go to this branch and then push the branch on GitHub. All right. So now you can see that the same branch appears here, and everybody else will have access to both branches. And let's say now the development branch is active, and if I go to Solution Explorer, this is the structure of the development branch. And let's say I want to add a bunch of things. Let's say I right click on the project and I add a folder here. Let's say this is the model or models folder. And then I right click on this and I want to create a class, let's say for my customer class. And you can create this customer class, make some changes, add a bunch of properties here. For simplicity, I'm just going to leave this alone. And here you see that you have a plus sign, meaning that you added something, and you can commit these changes to the branch. You go to Git changes and you see the changes that you made. If you want to choose specific changes and don't push all of them, you can stage specific ones. You can also choose stage all. By default, on Windows, this will be stage all, and you see commit all. That means all of these will be committed to the branch. If you don't see commit here, or if it's disabled, it's likely that you need to fix your Git setting. Go to Git settings, and here you have the Git global setting, and here you have Git repository setting. So you want to make sure that you have the username and email that you use for your GitHub here. And sometimes that will fix the problem. So fix the global or repository setting and click OK, and you want to close and open Visual Studio, and hopefully that problem will be solved. That means you're going to see this commit all here. Just for demonstrations, I'm going to stage all, meaning that I want to choose all of the changes and then commit the stage ones. So I have to write a message. What happened here? I created the model folder and the customer class. So now I can commit the stage. I have the chance to commit and push, which means that not only I commit the changes to the local branch, but also I push it to the remote repository. But now I just want to commit these changes. Let's say I made these changes, and you see that I have one outgoing change. You can click on this, and you see that under this development branch, you made this change, you committed the change, but we haven't pushed it, so it's under the outgoing. If you want to push this change to the remote repository, remote branch, first it's a good idea to see if anybody else on your team already made a change to that remote branch, because you're not aware of that. So you can either fetch the changes. If you fetch the changes, I'm going to click on fetch changes. If somebody else made any change to this remote development branch, you're going to see the changes under this incoming. And if you're okay with the changes, you can pull the changes. So you can pull the changes. And sometimes you just directly go and pull the changes. And then any change anybody else made will now appear in your own local branch as well. So you can double check and make sure that your changes do not have any conflicts with the existing changes. And then after that, you can push. After you pushed, you see that the created the model folder and customer class goes from outgoing to the history. That means now it's part of your development branch also on the remote version.